Right, students, they want us to describe this photo, no? Right? They want us to describe this photo. So let's start by describing this one in this way. When you do the picture description, first thing that we do is in general what we can see. That's what we will describe. Okay, so this photo shows. You can say shows, or else you can use the word depicts as well. Depicts. You can use the word shows, or else you can use the word depicts. So this photo depicts the aftermath of a natural disaster. Most likely a tsunami. Most likely a tsunami. Right, most likely a tsunami, right? This photo depicts the aftermath. Aftermath means once a natural disaster has happened, what is left behind? What is left behind? That is what is meant by aftermath. Okay, so here you can see the aftermath, the impact of the natural disaster. That's what you can see here. So for that, we can use the word aftermath. So this photo depicts rather than saying shows. Shows is also fine, but you can use the word depicts as well. This photo depicts the aftermath of a natural disaster, most likely a tsunami. Most likely a tsunami. Most likely a tsunami. Right. The entire area has been devastated and debris is scattered everywhere. The entire area has been devastated and debris is scattered everywhere. The entire area has been devastated, debris is scattered everywhere. Buildings and houses are heavily damaged, and it seems like all the people in this area have evacuated. Right. The entire area has been devastated. Devastated means now you can see the impact of the natural disaster. All these things have been destroyed, right? All these things have been destroyed. The houses, buildings, their neighborhood, this maybe this road, all these things have been destroyed. So you can use the word devastated. Debris. Debris, normally the meaning is all the things which are the rubbish, wood, the broken wood, broken building pieces, all these things which are scattered everywhere. So for that only use the word debris. Okay, debris. So debris means all these things which are broken and scattered everywhere. Under debris you can take trash. So here there could be trash. Here there are broken wood, right? And there is there's a boat as well. There is a boat which is carried to the land, and the building pieces are also there, and the trees are there. All these can be taken as debris. Okay, debris. For that only we use the word debris. Debris is scattered everywhere. So you can see everything is scattered everywhere. right? And buildings and houses are heavily damaged. Yes. So here there is a building, there is a house as well here. So all of them are heavily damaged, and it seems like all the people in this area have evacuated. So when there is an emergency, if people leave their places and go, for that the word that we use is evacuated, right? Right. So this photo depicts the aftermath of a natural disaster, most likely a tsunami. The entire area has been devastated. Debris is scattered everywhere. Buildings and houses are heavily damaged, and it seems like all the people in this area have evacuated. Hmm. One boat has been carried onto the land and stuck stuck mm, in front of a house, in front of a house, and the ground floor of the house, and the ground floor of the house is heavily damaged, heavily damaged, with only the columns standing without any walls, right? Uh, we can say one boat has been carried onto the land and stuck in front of a house, and the ground floor of the house is heavily damaged with only the columns standing without any walls. So if you see this house, the ground floor, only the columns are standing, and you can't see any of the walls. Maybe all the walls have been damaged, right? Maybe collapsed. Um, that's what you could see. So you could describe the picture in this way. So that's what we have done. You can't, you don't have to mention much about what you see in the foreground and in the background, because there is nothing much that we can see, so we don't have to write like that. So we can write a description like this. Right, students. Now, if something like this is given in the exam, or when you go for Cambridge and Oxford tests and all, if they give something like this, for you all to describe this one, you all need the vocabulary. Now, for you to describe this one, you need the vocabulary. So when it comes to vocabulary, now for an example, you need to know the word aftermath here. Aftermath means that is after a natural disaster. What is left behind? That is what the aftermath knows. So you need to know that word to describe this one, or else you have to use some other words to describe this. For an example, now, okay, I will highlight some of the words aftermath. Now you need to know the word devastated. Debris is a word that you need to know. Things are scattered everywhere. You need to know that as well. Evacuated. That is something that you need to know. Yeah. So some of the words, some of the vocabulary you need to know. Unless otherwise you have read about natural disasters, students, these words might not come to your mind automatically. These words would not come to your mind. So because of that, when the speaking task, or especially if the speaking task is given, then it will be a bit challenging, because you have to straight away talk. You can't think of words. Words should come automatically. But if it is writing, of course, you have some time to think of all these words. If it is spoken English, then if it is a speaking test, then you don't have much time to think about all these words. So only way to know all these words is students. Now, there is no way that you all can memorize all the words in the dictionary. That is not helpful. I remember in the university, there was one of my friends who actually memorized almost all the words in the Mallasekara dictionary. He was using the Mallasekara dictionary, not an Oxford one. So he was trying to learn the meaning of all the words. In that way he thought he would know English, right? um, so I remember almost he knew the meaning of all the words in the Mala Sekra dictionary, but he could not speak. Even now I know he can't speak in English. Okay, so he knows the meaning of all the words, but he can't speak. He can't properly write in English as well, right? So just memorizing the meaning of words would not help you to learn the language. Okay. Now, for you to describe something like this, you should have read about natural disasters. For an example, tsunami, you should have read about that one. Then the words that you come across when you are reading a text or article on that, then all these words will stick in your mind. They will get registered if you read about the natural disasters regularly over and over again. So one way is, now since you are at the intermediate level, you all can read newspapers. That is one way. You can go online and find articles about natural disasters, pollution, traffic, um, this one, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle. These are common topics now, students, even for essays. Now I'll be teaching you all how to write essays as well. When it comes to exams, government exams and all, they will ask you to write essays. Now, essay structure can be taught by me, but the content is something that I can't teach. No. So what you all have to do is, you all need to go online, and now there are so many resources available online. You don't have to read newspapers, actually go online, and then you can find articles written on natural disasters, global warming, pollution, traffic, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle. Um, what else? The common topics. These are the common topics. No? Health hazards, dengue, how to prevent dengue in Sri Lanka. Uh, there are a lot of things like this. Pandemic. Regarding the pandemic, also you all need to read a little bit about. Sometimes an essay might come on that. So there are common topics. So if you go through the exam essay questions for about 6 to 7 years, you can see a pattern. You can see the common topics that they have always given. So always, most of the times, natural disasters, pollution, global warming, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, the benefits of exercising, um, all these common topics, is from pandemic, all these common topics. Regarding these topics, there are so many articles. So you all need to read those things. Contaminating water, preserving wildlife, things like that. So those are common topics. No? So read articles on all these topics. Then the vocabulary that is used in that particular context, you all will learn. And they will get registered in your mind when you read them regularly. Now, when you see an article which is really good, which is well written, especially by UK authors and all, if it is written, then download it and save. Now you create some topics. Now I'll tell you how to do this one. Now you all need to, for an example, climate. Regarding climate, you all need to have folder. Now I don't know whether you all have laptops, computers, or mobile phones, but if you all don't have, then maybe your parents or somebody must be having. No, okay, so you can ask them to download and create a folder, and in that folder, regarding climate, whatever the article that you find regarding climate can be saved in that particular folder. Regarding natural disasters, there are so many articles, so you can download and save in that particular folder. Global warming, you download articles and save in that one. Healthy eating, download articles and save in that folder. So likewise, you have multiple folders. Okay, then you go to these folders and regularly read those articles. Then those words will stick in your mind, and the content will also stick in your mind. For an example, pollution. So when it comes to pollution, you all need to know about greenhouse gases. Now if there is an essay to be written on pollution, then something which is a must for you all to know is, in a pollution essay, definitely we have to talk about greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases, unless otherwise you have read about greenhouse gases, you won't be writing about greenhouse gases. You might know English. Your English must be very good. Let's assume your English is very good, but still, unless otherwise you have read about greenhouse gases in the essay, you won't be talking about greenhouse gases, no, right? So, how are these greenhouse gases produced? What is the impact of greenhouse gases? How is the uh, global warming is increasing because of greenhouse gases? What are the human activities which are causing the greenhouse gases to increase? Right. So things like that, you need to read about those things. Then only you would know. Then only you would be able to write your essay. So for you to do that, you should have already read about pollution. You should have read about pollution. You should have read about global warming, things like that. Then only you would know the words which are required for you to write that essay, and also the content that is required for you to write the essay. So the best way is, students, having a folder structure which has all these articles, and then you regularly read. I also have a folder structure, so whenever I see good articles written about a particular topic, I save that article in that particular folder, and whenever I have time, I go there and regularly. I am a person, I regularly read now. Whenever I have time, I read. So I go to those folders, take those articles, take those texts, and then read them. Then those words, the context, the content, actually, those things get registered in my mind. So that helps me in my teaching as well, and that helps me in improving my general knowledge also. But for you all, your general knowledge, at the same time, for you all to get good scores in exams, because when it comes to an essay and all, teaching essay writing doesn't take much time. Okay, within one day I can just teach all the uh, guidelines which you all need to follow when it comes to writing an essay. But the content, I can't teach. Content, there is no way that I can teach now. That is something that you all need to read and learn. So I think earlier also I told you all, it's very important for you all to read a lot of articles, texts about various essay topics, so that those things get registered in your mind. You have the information. So once essay writing is taught to you all can easily start writing essays, right? That's how it has to be. So I'm requesting you all to read as much as possible, so that all these words will get registered in your mind. Okay, right. So we have written a small description about this photo.